taken, and good South Florida defense, they've found themselves in this position.
The only thing offensive about this half has been Sean, quite frankly.
They're averaging 71.5 points per game. They have 17 at the half, Villanova. And you'd say down by 10 they're in it, but not at the pace that this game's going. It could be hard for them to score another 17 points.
Well, they're going to have
the second half.
They're going to have to stir it up off of this defense. And the other thing is, even if you don't have anything, run through your sets quickly. Make the defense adjust and maybe get some opportunities.
Wide open shot by Hugh Robertson. Missed it, but it'll be South Florida ball.
Well, Villanova's getting stops. I mean, they only gave up 27 points. You know, if they're smarter on the offensive end, if they take better shots, if they move and work harder, you know, they're back in this ball game.
I think it's over the clock, Jay. Didn't hit anything.
Bob Donato is the alternate official. He's conferring with Earl Walton and Michael Stevens. I think the question is whether or not it hit the shot at the rim, and if the shot clock should have reset, because they did reset it, as you see, to 35.
Well, it did hit the bottom of it, huh?
Yeah, it hit the rim. Is that what they're thinking? Did it hit? Of course it hit the rim.
Well, why didn't you say it right away?
Exactly. I didn't know what they were doing. I thought that it reset and no time went off when it went out of bounds, so it should have been 34 or 33 or something. I thought that was the issue. How much time?
I think these games would go smoothly if we just gave you a megaphone and you could communicate directly to the officials.
A little back screen lob and not a good delivery. That's a deep one, though.
You know, this South Florida team has turned the ball over at a really high rate because they've got such a low possessions. You know, it seems like they don't have a lot of turnovers. Well, they turn it over 23% of the time, and that's 302nd in Division I.
Well, that is some strength. Nice pass.
Yaru in the lane for about a month without being penalized for it, and Villanova's with an 8.
In a game this slow, all-time stops.
Largest lead was 13 for the Bulls in the first half. Villanova has not led. Trying to avoid losing to USF for the 3rd time this season. They're trying to both regular season meetings.
Sorry, Sean. They were trying to set up the high-low and a pretty good defense again. A nice challenge here by Sutton.
Villanova's ball.
You know, in the Big East, there are 3 teams that you play twice, the mirror teams, as they call them. Everybody else in the league, you play once. South Florida did a great job with their repeat games. They swept all 3 of those teams, Pittsburgh, Villanova, and Providence. They kind of lucked out a little bit there in that Villanova and Pittsburgh turned out not to be as good as was expected.
They got a charge. First the scrape by Collins and move the ball.
3 fouls on Javon Pinkston.
Everything is off of one pass. You know, they're not moving the defense at all and then wondering why they're charging, because the defense has been standing there, hasn't been made to move.
They love this little double high, little pop to the corner, cross screen. Pretty good basketball. Rudd's pretty active, isn't he?
That's a great athlete.
Yeah.
Anthony Collins, the point guard. Pressured by Malik Waynes. Nearly a steal by Cheek. 5 to shoot. And the jumper long from the corner from Ron Anderson Jr. Waynes, a 3-on-2 break. Bounced it off his leg. Yaru couldn't fetch it. Back come the Bulls. Rudd. Whoa, he wanted to have a highlight dunk, and Maurice Sutton wouldn't let him.
Would let nothing happen. So Sutton does mix it up. I'll give him that. He's a competitive kid around that rim, but just mishandling at the other end by your lead guard, who's a very talented guy, leads to this open floor opportunity.
You know, he's a spectacular athlete, but on that play, I think you want to go in, square your shoulders to the backboard, go off 2 feet.
And take a layup.
Yeah, get ready to absorb the contact and then go for a 3-point play.
Well, that's all the splash with the one hand, too.
That's the thing. I mean, he's going for a highlight instead of going to complete the play because he's stronger than Maurice Sutton. Get into his body, finish the play.
Yeah, but you don't wind up on the Sports Center top 10 when you do that.
Boy, 10 against this team is a lot.
Yes.
And, as you get near the last 5 minutes of the game, it's a monster to get out of that hole. A settle again. One dribble.
It's a bad shot. It's been bad shot after bad shot. Those are challenge shots, and the percentage is accordingly low.
Well, Waynes is 0 for 9 now from the floor, 0 for 6 from 3. Good block by Sutton to deny Gilchrist.
Boy, this is effort on the defensive end. I mean, they got to match it at the other end with some intelligent play.
How about that? One field goal in the last nearly 15 minutes, and you have a 10-point lead.
I'll bet if we did it like football where you had time of possession, South Florida has had the ball in offense a lot longer.
Cheek, after the turnover, could not convert, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Jay's talking about that last high pick and roll and the settle with Malik. He's got to calm down, just play organized team basketball. The gate stands excellent defense.
And a little concern that Ron Anderson Jr. has 3 fouls now. Here's Cheek at the line. Villanova, the best free throw shooting team in the Big East, better than 75% collectively.
Villanova just needs to hang in there. I mean, South Florida has done a terrific job getting their tempo. They haven't done a very good job on their offensive end, has South Florida, but you get a couple scores, all of a sudden there's a little more game pressure on South Florida. And a 2-3 zone right now by Villanova.
Anything long, maybe they can get a run out. That's where they have to think.
Nicely done. Robertson bouncing to the bucket. Senior from Macon, Georgia. Spent 2 years at Tallahassee Community College, where he's considered one of the best junior college players in the country.
Yeah, they have guys that can play a lot of positions on the floor, too. Slip in the post.
Waynes, beautiful. There's his first field goal of the night. Now 1 for 10 for the junior from Philadelphia.
Don't you like Villanova better in man?
Yes, yeah, there's too many holes in that defense. Witnessed by that last field goal by Robertson.
Gilchrist does a nice job of getting wide when he's posting up. Little horn set, corners loaded.
Collins, nifty little floater from just inside the free throw line.
He is good at that, Sean. Wow.
Collins has been terrific down the stretch. Previous 5 games averaging 13.5 points per game, 5.5 assists. Cheek a miss.
Nice hustle by Sutton.
Yeah, he's been working hard tonight. Waynes. And the rebound down to Torlin Fitzpatrick, who runs the floor with Robertson, who scores.
It's not a foul.
Explosive when they have to be. Ooh, if they let it loose, they can fill the lane.
Stan Heath says when we have the opportunity, we will run. They haven't done it very often, but they did it effectively that time. Notre Dame playing their burn offense where they try to run the clock down in the half court against South Florida. I mean, that final score is going to be 4-3.
I think Mike might rev it up a little bit and try and get some Bray, that is.
Well, they played in January and Notre Dame scored 60 points. And on South Florida and limited South Florida into the 40s. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you know, Notre Dame does a little bit better job than Villanova of moving the ball.
They do, and they can make those threes. So they make open shots.
60-49 was the final.
Stan
Notre Dame at home in mid-January, winning over South Florida. You know, we talk about the lack of the really big, impressive wins for the University of South Florida, but they've done a good job of avoiding the bad losses. They, prior to their loss in the regular season finale to West Virginia, they had not lost to an unranked team since December. The only teams that could also make that claim over that same span were Kentucky, Syracuse, and North Carolina, probably 3 #1 seeds. So they did a good job of not losing games that they should win. There's their resume once again.
giving up those 60 points, they probably had to run the steps. With a giveaway by Collins. Curious.
Reach in foul on Anthony. Gets us to immediate timeout. Just 23 points for Villanova, nearly 5 minutes in to the second half. It's been a frustrating night for Malik Waynes and his mates.
You know, if he was mad about a team thing, he's mad about himself. Yeah. That's the problem.
You want to throw a water bottle?
I was going to say he threw it and it was intercepted. I didn't want to.
Missed.
I couldn't figure out what it missed. You know,
he was aiming at the floor. Right. It missed.
I was actually thinking about that when you're talking about Herb Pope in the game before.
What did he do?
When Sean was saying he was shot 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
If he was shot in that game, they would have missed him.
He's taking a lot of shots.
When you started that, when you started that, we're gonna be looking at one another like,
See you in about 10 minutes.
How's his dog? I asked the truck.
That's why I didn't even look at you two chumps and humps.
Well, what did he say when we were looking at each other, Sean?
You gotta watch him. He comes in something from the rear.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my
He's got
God.
a little bit of a from the rear fixation. Taking charge from the rear.
Can they win this? No. The way
Yeah,
Villanova's playing, they can't win it.
No, they're not going to win it.
And Bobby. Should be my girl.
I've seen some bad games this year. This is the worst one I've ever. This is the worst one I've seen. But Villanova's up their field goal percentage by 3.
Patience.
20 to 23.
Please don't play slow tomorrow.
Super, and you wonder if members of the committee are watching these games, are they going to be impacted at all, turned off a little bit by kind of the sluggish nature of the offenses?
Don't you think it's result oriented?
Yeah, it has to be, because it's not like some of these other conferences are having these 100-point games.
It's not style points.
No.
Fortunately.
Yes. The first game wasn't artistic offensively for Seton Hall and Louisville, but compared to this one, looked like a track meet.
They have not gone to Yaru very much. Not a bad look. Couldn't convert it. Dig in, see what you're made of right now. Nice play.
Why would Poland do that? That early in the clock, take it against the set defense without making a pass. Just asking for a charge.
You got your answer.
You should have just thrown it out of bounds. It would have been quicker and easier.
You got the quick hook. Stan heard you.
I have a feeling, though, starting at noon tomorrow, the atmosphere will be quite a bit different than we have right now in here when Connecticut takes on Syracuse.
Walking around about 3 hours before, it was that's all people were talking about.
Can Connecticut do it again? There's Sutton. Last year, Connecticut won the 5 games in a row here. Then they went into the NCAA tournament, won 6 in a row. They've won 2 more here. They've won 13 straight postseason games now. But this year coming into it, the consensus seemed to be, well, they can't do it again this year. They don't have Kemba Walker, who played such a huge role and almost carrying them to the Big East Championship last year. Hard collision there. Collins helped back up, and he looks to be okay.
Your point being, as we take a look at this is just a little late on the step in. They are talented.
Well, that was the point. I mean, we forget Connecticut in the Big East preseason coaches poll was the pick to win the league, tied with Syracuse. And when you look at Lamb and Drummond and the way Napier played today, and they've got a pretty talented team. Boatwright.
And don't you think the ups and downs just impacted on the team? Boatwright couldn't play. Some injuries, of course, Jim Calhoun's health issue.
And his suspension at the beginning of the year for the NCAA stuff.
Crazy. Don't put it by him, though, one of the master motivators to keep them plugging along.
12-point lead, one shy of the biggest of the night for the University of South Florida. Well, we said, well, they don't have Kemba Walker to carry them. Well, Jeremy Lamb's been from time to time kind of deferential. He has taken charge in the 2 games here. Had 25 in their win against DePaul and 22 more today in their win over West Virginia. There's a 3-ball. The first of the game for Villanova comes from James Bell. They're 1 for 10 collectively.
Jay searching, trying to get somebody who can ring that bell. And Nash in there, very solid, doesn't turn it over. Has a little bit of a pull-up jumper game, too.
They got a switch, and now they got a match up with Anderson inside with Johnson on him.
They make the extra pass.
Good defense by Sutton as he denied Victor Rudd Jr. 2 seconds to shoot for the University of South Florida.
Got to force it out high. Nothing at the rim, nothing in the corner.
Rudd goes out of the game. Juwan Zapolin back in with Blake Nash, Augustus Gilchrist, Ron Anderson Jr.
Good job by Sutton taking that away.
Lou Robertson played it in. Poland did not get it off.
Pretty good set defensively. No complaints about Villanova on that end of the floor.
No, they played hard defensively. It's just they haven't been smart on the offensive end. You know, South Florida's defense has been very good, but no defense is good enough to hold you to 20% without you helping.
How about this? They've hit their last 2 shots for the first time tonight. They made back-to-back buckets. Can they make it 3 in a row? Yaru. Waynes. Wow, they all come to contest, and they've now made 3 straight shots, and that's all it takes to make it a 7-point game.
Well, that validates what Jay was saying. A couple of passes, you get a better angle. Guys like that can do their magic around the rim. Wings.
Gilchrist, senior, passed it off to Nash.
They got a mismatch, a little hole in there.
On Ty Johnson, his first.
They're just getting the ball around the horn, inside, outside. 1 pass to the wing, little kiss, and maybe that little spell on the bench and dialogue between the coach and the player is going to help Villanova.
He's a lot better when he's in attack mode off the dribble, as you're saying, Bill. After the ball moves a little bit, and he can attack a defense that has been moved.
Johnson right up on Collins. They're trying to tighten up the man-to-man defense, force the pace a little bit. They haven't been able to do it so far tonight. Under 12 minutes to go now. Nice move to the baseline by Gilchrist, and it's out of bounds. It'll be USF ball to 13 to shoot after immediate timeout.
Pretty good recovery by Sutton.
Well, he's been good at the defensive end tonight. Look at Times Square. Just a few blocks.
Skip, talk a little bit about the excitement right now around campus and around this basketball team.
Well, there's a lot of excitement around the entire athletic program, and Judy Ginshaft has done a great job of leading this university, and Doug Woolard, and not just Stan Heath as the basketball, the coach of the year in the Big East. That was announced yesterday. And then to see the run this basketball team's making, the facilities on campus, all the positive things going on in Tampa right now. It's an exciting time to be part of the program.
It's been 20 years since the basketball team's gone to the NCAA tournament. What is the buzz on campus, and what would that mean for the school?
I think it would be huge for the school when you look at just how young the program is, and to have the opportunity to play in the Big East and come here to New York. And these guys have they've played with a lot of heart, a lot of spirit, a lot of passion, and they've believed. They've come into a program, and they're really helping building something special, and it would mean a lot to the school, the community, and to all of Tampa for South Florida to have success on the hardwood.
Also big football news and Big East news today with the addition of Temple next fall to the program. How important is it to have that 8th team and to have a program like Temple?
Well, you know, Temple, Steve Dazio I've known for a long time, and he's done a great job there, and they're building that program. And Al Golden was there before, and they've really had some success, and I think it'll be huge. It's great to have the balance. The 8 teams in the league where you're sitting there with, instead of having 7 teams playing 8, and a balanced schedule. So I know we're all excited about having them in.
All right, Skip, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Great to be here in New York.
Thank you, Sean.
One of the really good guys, Skip Holtz, and as you could tell, very smart guy too. His very first comment is to talk about how wonderful the president and the AD are, his 2 bosses.
When you say something nice, I assumed he played in your foundation golf
I
outing.
actually played with Skip in the Big East media outing in Newport that they have every summer. Newport, Rhode
Nice
Island.
look.
Gilchrist fouled hard, but it prevented the bucket, and it was James Bell who did it. Skip Holtz, by the way, is an excellent golfer. Single-digit handicap.
I thought coaches tried to keep that a secret. Make it seem like they're not playing a lot of golf.
Okay, I take that back then.
You know better. There's no secrets around the Boston Flash.
That's the initials for Leroy Selman on Skip's jacket. Gilchrist at the free throw line, a miss. And we should also point out the initials of the late great Dave Gavitt on the court here throughout this Big East Championship, the founder of the Big East Conference, legendary coach and administrator, Hall of Famer, passed away a few months ago, and to say he is missed would be the biggest understatement you could possibly utter.
Great man and very astute in evaluating talent. He said, I've watched you coach. You want to try broadcasting.
Yeah, we have him to blame. The only thing that I could find fault with Dave Gavitt about the career advice he gave to you.
Big trip here, I think, for the Cats to stay real close and in touch.
Keep game pressure on the Bulls. Bell lost it. Got it turned over to Poland nearly midway through the second half. A 6-point lead for USF. They led by 13.
Smart to bring it out and run offense.
And Anderson feels he's got a mismatch. Bell with good footwork to force him out.
Robertson lays it in. Hugh Robertson had 14 points in their second victory of the regular season against Villanova. That was in the USF home game in Tampa. The lead back up to 8. And we're more than midway through the second half now.
And that's how you hold the lead.
And that's how you lose it. I mean, that was deep. I know he makes them around the foul line, Sean, but that deep.
Cheek's going to come back in. Maurice Sutton's on the bench with 4 fouls for Villanova. Torlin Fitzpatrick in for Ron Anderson Jr.
That is a bulky unit that Stan Heath can put on the floor. They can be really physical.
Try to get it in.
Yeah, they finally do. Out to Waynes. Full shot clock for the Villanova Wildcats, trying to extend their season. They lose tonight. There's no postseason play for them. They have to win this Big East championship to get on to the NCAA.
Nice entry
by Wayne, but Giroux was double teamed. And nicely done. Away from the double team by spinning to the hook shot.
He's getting a better feel for traffic.
Two-possession game. Get a stop here, a score.
It would be a one-possession game.
Well, it depends on the kind of score you get.
Yes, they got a 3.
Don't make a mistake, Jay. You know that.
We're just getting a little punchy as we get close to midnight here.
Oh, that should have been that Reese's sign.
Yeah. Poland fell down. Wayne's hacked hard. Whoa! Offensive foul called by Earl Walton. Wow.
That's a terrible call.
I thought back here there was a foul in the backcourt way before that. Foul. Oh my God, he was by him.
That's amazing.
That's a huge call too, obviously, in a game where every possession means so much. Villanova would have had the second best free throw shooter in the league at the line.
Well, that's a discard. They got it.
Yeah, push off after the ball was lost by Fitzpatrick.
Didn't you think Fitzpatrick got fouled first?
Well, he may have, yes.
A ton of body contact out there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Villanova's trying to find something out about themselves. What kind of ticker they have, how overcoming a call that they felt should have gone their way. And I think right there we got body.
Those are fouls. Well, you better be strong with the ball because they're coming after you.
And Johnson just playing right into the hands of South Florida here.
I'm with you. I think that's where they got to speed it up.
Casually, just killing time.
And a hold. Anderson had that arm wrapped around on the low block area.
Well, that's just incidental contact in this game.
Do you remember Anderson's dad? Ron
Oh,
Senior,
yeah,
10
sure.
years
Very
in the
good
NBA.
jump shooter. Very good jump shooter.
Went for a bunch of teams: Cleveland, Indiana, Philly, Jersey, Washington. Scored over 7,000 points. Ron Anderson Senior. Yarrow missed the dunk. Cheeks there. Looked like he got bumped. And off the scramble is rescued by Gilchrist, and there's an injured Bull. It is Collins.
Well, he's gotten banged around, hasn't he? Get the shoulder pads out these last 8 minutes, huh? And change. Well, he's getting banged. That's what I wear to bed, by the way. Those long with the knee pads. You never know.
We're going to let that one slide into the night. Under 8 minutes to go. 6-point game.
I like how they make the extra pass. They know it's deep in the clock, too.
And 5 to shoot. With 2 on the shot clock, well short from Gilchrist.
Really good defensive trip by Villanova.
Which has never led in the game, trailed by as much as 13. Cheek trying to attack. Yarrow. Collins knocked it away, and Collins is down on the deck again. He ran into the arm of Yarrow, just now back on his feet.
And Wayne with good presence that trip.
Winning some of the great boxing matches in history in this building. And Collins has hit the canvas more than most of those legendary fighters. The Villanova fans with the mock cheers. There's finally a foul called against the Bulls.
That's one thing you got to do. A game as competitive as this one is right now. Put it on the deck and try and get yourself to the rim. Whew. Incidental.
Mark Few's Coaches versus Cancer event in Spokane, and congratulations to the Grizzlies. The only downside of that is we're not going to get to see Weber State's Damian Lillard in the NCAA tournament.
Is that good, huh?
Oh, he is really good.
You've gotten to know Wayne Tinkle. Thank God he has a sense of humor for what I'm told.
And Jay brutalizes Wayne Tinkle at Mark Few's event every year.
It's all in good fun.
And sees the Coaches versus Cancer out in beautiful Spokane. Pinkston missed the first of 2. First free throw of the night for the redshirt freshman. Missed them both. Wow.
Be interesting to see how the game is called from here on.
What are you expecting?
Unless
you hit somebody with a 2x4, you're not going to get a whistle.
I think they're going to tighten it up, to be honest with you.
Collins with Poland, Anderson Jr., Gilchrist, and Robertson for the University of South Florida Bulls. And there's Collins.
Is he a good player?
He is under control, understated.